Hey guys, it's Protendo, and after what somehow simultaneously felt like both the longest year and the shortest year in human history, 2020 is finally coming to a close. And surprisingly, after all the terrible stuff that's happened this year, it actually wasn't as bad for Nintendo as most of us thought it would be. Animal Crossing, Xenoblade, Paper Mario, Pikmin, and Hyrule Warriors isn't a terrible lineup by any means. We also got 4 Smash characters and various updates for games. But this video isn't about dwelling on the past and is instead about looking forward to the future. For the past 2 years, I've created videos attempting to predict Nintendo's upcoming year, and 2020 is no different. Despite the fact that this year has thrown a ginormous wrench of ambiguity into Nintendo's already mysterious schedule, I'm going to do my best to guess what the Big N has coming for us in 2021. But before we get started, I'm going to dwell on the past a little bit longer, just to flex the fact that my past self predicted a new Paper Mario before it was cool to predict a new Paper Mario, as well as Steve in Smash Ultimate. But enough self-backpatting for now, there'll be enough time for that next year when I inevitably get everything right, starting now. Obviously, let's get started with January. This month will be fairly empty, no first-party releases and no directs or presentations of any kind. However, it will feature this year's first of many Animal Crossing New Horizons updates. This update will add Festival and Pave to the game. The beloved holiday will work very similarly to how it has in the past, but is now extended across the beginning of February. During this time, feathers will infrequently rain down from the sky, items that you can catch with your net to craft the Festival furniture set. On the holiday itself, Pave will of course visit your town and request various feathers for you to give to him, rainbow feathers still being the rarest of them all. Completing his missions will reward you with the Festival wand and additionally, Pave's picture. But that's not it for this update, because it'll also add an additional special day. Groundhog Day has always been a holiday associated with Mr. Rossetti, and I think that'll stay true in New Horizons, despite him currently being MIA apart from voice. You'll find him in front of Town Hall, and he'll get you to do some sort of digging task, rewarding you in various ways. And then, my favorite character will disappear for 364 more excruciating days. This update will additionally double the design slots available to the player, and that's about it. The trailer for the January update will also announce that the next update is coming in March. Next up, February. Contrary to the fairly timid month of January, February will really pack a punch. This month will provide us with our first general Nintendo Direct of the year, as well as the first one in more than 500 days. The Direct will start off with a third-party reveal. Crash Bandicoot 4 is coming to the Nintendo Switch and will be available in April. It's pretty much inevitable. Following that reveal, the Direct will give us another fairly major update. Nintendo Switch Online will be getting Game Boy Advance games in a March update. Although the app will start off with very few games, only featuring Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga, Mario Kart Super Circuit, Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, Legend of Zelda The Minish Cap, and Metroid Fusion. The presentation will also talk about Super Mario 3D World on the Switch, and will finally reveal the Bowser's Fury mode in depth. In the game mode, you get to play as Bowser in certain portions, and can explore worlds much more open than the ones in the original game. The vastness of these levels allows for much more exploration and discovery, as both Mario & Co. and Bowser, the two of which you can alternate between depending on the level. The Direct will remind you to pick up the game soon on February 12th. And finally, we'll have the Direct closer. Surprisingly, it won't finish on a new game, but instead 2 older games. Nintendo will announce that The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker and The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess will be released together in one package for the Switch. They won't say themselves that it's some sort of 35th anniversary celebration of the series, but fans will be smart enough to put 2 and 2 together. Many will also be bummed out at the lack of Skyward Sword. The collection will be set to release in May. But hoo boy, that is not where February ends. We'll also be getting a second Direct, this one being a Pokemon Direct. The Pokemon Company tends to go for their own presentations instead of piggybacking off of Nintendo's own, and this will stay true in 2021. 2 things of note will be shown off. The first will be our second trailer for new Pokemon Snap. It'll showcase a bunch of new areas, gyro controls, where to find specific Pokemon, and some additional features. The game will be given a release month of June, kicking off the summer. And the major announcement after this is a big one. Oh, Diamond and Pearl remakes, how original. But honestly, it just makes sense. Pokemon Radiant Diamond and Brilliant Pearl will be officially revealed, and I don't know enough about Pokemon to make claims about what to expect in these sorts of remakes, but I will say that it's coming and will be coming in November. And that's it for February reveals. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury will also release this month, of course, and it'll sell insanely well because Mario. March. This month will be pretty big. First things first, a new Animal Crossing update will release earlier in the month. And because it's the game's anniversary update, it's going to be a big one. Interestingly enough, we already have a March update confirmed for New Horizons, because that's when we're getting the special Mario furniture. But how will that be integrated? Well, a new traveling animal is going to be integrated into the game. He's a ferret named Mr. O, who looks suspiciously like a certain plumber. He'll show up in your town every now and then to sell you some Mario merchandise, but later on he'll be updated to feature a myriad of Nintendo-themed furniture. But Mr. O is just a fraction of what this major update will bring to New Horizons. It's also going to add back a very highly requested character. Yup, Brewster is coming back this March, and much to my dismay, he'll set up shop in the museum instead of having his own building. The roost will be a little different this time around. Coffee will only be one of the drinks on the menu, and special seasonal beverages will be available as well. Iced tea and lemonade in the summer, cider in the fall, etc. But unfortunately, working for Brewster won't return as a feature. Brewster will also collect gyroids once again, coinciding with their return, and will have a whole backroom exhibit dedicated to them, giving them an additional purpose as museum donations. This update will also include one more character. Blanca will make her return, running the April Fool's Day event like she did in New Leaf. It'll work pretty similarly to how it did back then, testing your knowledge of the animals in your town. Except, April Fool's Day DIY recipes will be given out in place of the villagers' picture frames. Additionally, this update that keeps on giving will give Nook's Cranny an unlockable third form, adding a second floor to the shop and plenty more items to purchase every day. And finally, various quality of life updates will be integrated, including the ability to craft multiple things at a time, after a year of waiting. That finishes off this ginormous update, and the trailer will announce that the next one is coming out in June. But March isn't done yet, no, it still packs a major punch. In the latter half of the month, Nintendo will randomly announce a Sakurai Presents, which will reveal the next Smash Ultimate Fighter. People will of course get their hopes up for Crash or Waluigi or Sora, but the next character will actually be a more niche addition, at least over here in the West. Lloyd Irving from Bandai Namco's Tales series. Namco is co-developing Ultimate just like they did Smash 4, but unlike Smash 4, they still haven't received a character of their own yet. So I think it makes a lot of sense, especially since Lloyd is apparently incredibly popular in Japan. The Sword Fighter will release later that month, but something that'll catch a lot of people's eye is the Mii costume that comes alongside him. It's Jonesy. Like, there's absolutely zero correlation between the two, but Jonesy will still be the biggest costume that comes with him for some reason. Moving on, April. This will be a relatively low-key month. Crash 4 will release early on, exciting many Switch owners like myself who haven't enjoyed the game yet. There will also be an indie showcase, but because I'm mostly sticking to first party, I'm not going to go down a list of things that could be in it. Maybe Fall Guys, I don't know. But something else I want to mention about this month is the fate of Super Mario 3D All-Stars. We all know about the infamous March 31st date, we've seen the memes. But the question is, will these 3 games actually be unavailable on the Switch past this point? Surprisingly, no. Each game in 3D All-Stars will get a permanent, separate eShop release, the price of the 3 being equal to $70 American or so. It'll be super gross and pretty scummy, but hey, I'm not going by what I want to happen, just what I think will happen. Following April, we've got May. This will be a pretty good month. The Zelda Wind Waker and Twilight Princess collection will release and will see rather high sales. This will be our first example of the impact seen by new Breath of the Wild fans trying to experience older titles in the series. There will still be, of course, people upset by the lack of Skyward Sword. Nintendo Switch Online will also get an update this month. As per usual, there will be mostly irrelevant titles held up completely by a more popular game, said game in this case being Golden Sun. June. This is a big one. Despite June not being a major month for gaming this year, it usually always is, and that's of course because of E3. In 2021, it's back, and Nintendo is participating. Logically, there'd probably be a Pokemon Direct or something preceding the presentation, but whatever, I just want to get into their E3 already. Similarly to Nintendo's 2019 presentation, this Direct will start off relatively light. Oh wait, no it won't, because it immediately starts off with a full gameplay trailer for Breath of the Wild 2. The trailer will follow the darker tone set up by the first. Link and Zelda still stumble upon Old Man Ganondorf in the deep dark cave, and chaos still ensues. This green hand is an ancient sentient spell cast to seal Ganondorf away, but its power has slowly been weakening over the years until his calamity is too much to handle and overpowers it. The hand later merges with Link, granting him new powers and abilities, and tasking him with the obvious goal of sealing Ganondorf away once more. The Hyrule we explore in Breath of the Wild 2 still uses the world from the first game as a base, but is almost indistinguishable from that original world. Locations that were once peaceful and ambient are now ravaged with darkness, mountains have been leveled, shrines and dungeons are in completely new areas, towns have been destroyed, it's pure and utter chaos. While Breath of the Wild focused on serenity, this game focuses on telling a darker and more in-depth story. It'll even receive a teen rating. Also, the end of the trailer will reveal a fully playable Zelda for the first time in the 3D games. After being given new abilities by the Hand Spirit, Link will give the Sheikah Slate to Zelda in order to defend herself. While Link will have the new abilities, Zelda will have a more classic Breath of the Wild feel, and you can freely switch between the two when need be. The Legend of Zelda Tomb of Darkness will be 2021's holiday game and release in December. Yeah, that's how this E3 starts. Following that bombshell, the Direct will slow down a bit. The next reveal is Animal Crossing New Horizons June update, and this will see the return of another very sorely missed feature, Tortimer's Island. Just in time for the beginning of summer, Tortimer's Island will actually give the game meaningful online play. The minigames will be even wackier now that 8 players can travel there at once, and both tropical and perfect fruits will make their return. The update will be released near the end of the month. After that, we get ourselves a new game reveal, being a new Mario sports game. But what sport is it? Maybe a new take on strikers? Ooh, how about a new Super Slugger sequel? Potentially another Hoops game? Or what about a completely new franchise, like Mario Hockey or football or something? But nope, it's just Mario Golf. Again. It'll look pretty mediocre and will be released in September. Following Bogey Boogaloo, we'll get more information about Radiant Diamond and Brilliant Pearl. Like I said before, I'm not a Pokemon guy, can't really predict what new stuff they're gonna add, but I'm sure they'll add something that'll be detailed here. And then we get the true highlight, the thing everyone waits for in every Nintendo presentation, a new Smash reveal. Once again, people will get their hopes up prior to the showcase because they'll be expecting big characters like Crash Bandicoot. But they'll be exactly right this time because it'll absolutely be Crash Bandicoot. I imagine the trailer involving the 90s icons like Mario, Sonic, Mega Man, Banjo, and others duking it out, eventually leading to the reveal of everyone's favorite Marsupial. After the show, it'll be announced that Crash will receive a Sakurai Presents video detailing his moveset next month. And then, just when everyone thinks the Direct is over, Nintendo has one more trick up their sleeves. The trailer begins, starting with a black screen. Light slowly begins to come in, and the camera pans down to reveal Mario and Luigi's hats. Nothing happens at first. But then, all of a sudden, Cappy hops out of Mario's hat and Tiara hops out of Luigi's. The two high-five and float off screen, revealing a logo behind them. Super Mario Odyssey 2. We see a 2022 appear on screen before the E3 Direct comes to a close. Major bombshells aside, June will also feature the release of new Pokemon Snap, but most people will be too busy hyping up Tomb of Darkness, Crash and Smash, or Odyssey 2 to pay too much attention to it. Just kidding, it'll still sell astonishingly well because Pokemon. Up next, July. You would think that after Nintendo's ginormous E3, July would be more of a down month, but interestingly, that won't be the case. Early in the month, we'll get a Sakurai Presents Crash Bandicoot video, keeping up a lot of the momentum from E3 going, hype-wise at least. But then, near the end of the month, we'll get something that most people wouldn't expect. Out of absolutely nowhere, Nintendo will drop a reveal trailer on YouTube for the Nintendo Switch Ultra. This will be a mid-generational upgrade to the Switch. It'll have a larger handheld screen capable of outputting a 1080p resolution and run more demanding games more smoothly. The dock will also get a power boost. It won't quite be 4K, but it will absolutely be a step up from the base Switch dock. Despite running things better, the Switch Ultra won't feature any exclusive games and is more focused on giving the users a smoother and better looking experience in both handheld and docked mode. Additionally, and this will get people really happy, the Switch Ultra comes with the Joy-Con Pros, redesigned, driftless versions of the controllers. Despite being slightly larger in order to fit better with the Switch Ultra's bigger size, they are still compatible with the Switch. Unlike the base Switch, the system and dock will actually come in various colors at launch, the Joy-Con having a color scheme that matches. There will be black, white, red, blue, and a special edition system themed around Legend of Zelda Tomb of Darkness. And if that last bit didn't give it away yet, this system will release alongside Tomb of Darkness in early December of 2021. August. Unlike the last 2 months, this month will actually be low-key. We'll see an Indie World Showcase, which could very well reveal some cool stuff, but is pretty inconsequential in comparison to the 2 major months that preceded this one. However, there will be a new Nintendo Switch Online update this month, once again following the pattern of having an exciting game with a few mediocre ones, this time by finally releasing Earthbound on Nintendo Switch Online, completely dashing any hopes I had for a remake anytime soon. Okay, heading into the fall with September. We'll get another Animal Crossing update this month. 3 returning characters will be added: Katrina, Digby, and Lyle. Katrina will pretty much do the same thing as she always has. She'll be a traveling animal who can read your fortune for a small fee, predicting what your day's luck is going to be and giving you advice on how to improve your luck. Digby and Lyle will have something a little different setup though. As the heads of the Happy Home Academy, the two will have their own island you can fly to where certain animals are setting up vacation homes. Only Digby and Lyle need some help designing it for them. This will pretty much be a Happy Home Designer styled minigame where you get to freely design the animal's house while sticking to a loose theme and receive bells from Digby for doing a good job. The trailer announces the next update for November. Mario Golf Bogey Boogaloo will also hit the shelves this month and will be hit with a meh across the board. October. This month will feature yet another Nintendo Direct, the final one of the year in fact. It'll open on a pretty big announcement. Footage from the first ever fully 3D Kirby game. The gameplay shown will be minimal, but we'll get a good feel for the game's theme, as well as see some new copy abilities, like Cyborg and Lava. The game won't even have an official title yet, simply being referred to as Kirby 3D, and will be given a summer 2022 release window. But this Direct still has some cards to play, the first of which being a trailer for Bayonetta 3. This will actually feature gameplay as well as cutscenes, and will give fans a relatively good understanding of the sort of plot to expect from the title. Something that will end up disappointing many, however, is the lack of a firm release date, as the game will still be given a vague 2022 window. And finally, to finish off the Direct, we get a Smash Ultimate reveal. The final character in the game, one that will stick in the minds of fans forever. Who could it possibly be? Yup. Frisk from Undertale, the final character negotiated to be put in the game after Nintendo witnessed the phenomenal success of Sans. Hey, if I'm going to end up being wrong in most of this video, I might as well make a couple more outlandish claims. Even though I don't think this is that outlandish, I genuinely think that it could happen. But anyways, yeah, there'll be some backlash just because the internet likes to flex its right to yell at Undertale for being cringe all the time, but aside from that, the majority of people will be content with Frisk being the finisher. November. We'll receive a Sakurai Presents video detailing Frisk and what they'll bring to Smash. The character will have a pacifist genocide mechanic where your attacks are changed depending on the mode you select. And there'll also be a pretty ginormous selection of Undertale music, the series getting about 20 tracks with half of them being remixes. We'll also get various Mii costumes, ones like Papyrus, Undyne, Mettaton, and even some Deltarune ones like Chris and Susie as sword fighters. Frisk will release shortly after the presentation, and so ends Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Later on in the month, Pokemon Radiant Diamond and Brilliant Pearl will also release, and of course they'll sell phenomenally well. And finally, December. This is a major month, and because of that, will give Nintendo fans pretty high hopes heading into 2022, especially with titles like Super Mario Odyssey 2 and Bayonetta 3 confirmed for that year. Early on, The Legend of Zelda Tomb of Darkness will release alongside Nintendo Switch Ultra, and will once again see the Switch breaking records. Additionally, this month will have the final Switch Online update for the year, adding Earthbound Beginnings as its major title. But of course, that's not all. We've also got the Game Awards, and Nintendo will have a single thing to show there. A full trailer for Metroid Prime 4, featuring cutscenes, voice acting, early gameplay, the whole shebang. The release of the game will still be shrouded in mystery though, because Nintendo won't reveal a release window at the end of the trailer. And that'll be it for Nintendo's 2021. It'll seemingly follow the trend of the odd number Switch years being the strongest, by revealing and releasing a ton of major games. But anyways guys, that's about it for this prediction video. What do you all think? Did my predictions actually make any sense, or were they completely crazy and too insane to actually happen? And I'd love to hear all of your own predictions down in the comments below. I'll see you all later. Protendo, out.